Hey everyone, it's Kim and it's been a beat. It's been about 2 weeks since you've seen any new content come up on my channel, and frankly, I just thought I'd come say hi. It has been a really busy last couple of weeks for my personal life, my job, and also my subscription box, Read It and Eat. So without going into the details of my personal life, because honestly it's a little dramatic and I'm still kind of processing some stuff that's going on in my life, let me tell you about the good stuff. So first and foremost, if you've been on my channel for any extended period of time, you know I have been crowdfunding. I've been trying to raise money for Read It and Eat to help my small business grow and continue to bring you guys quality Read It and Eat subscription boxes. I want to bring you along on a culinary adventure. I know and believe that there is a story on your plate. And by curating boxes around food themes that pair books and foodie goodies and delicious treats from small businesses in the United States, it's the perfect way to reinvigorate and re-energize your relationship with food and books and adventure. And we finished crowdfunding last Monday, and we did it. On the last day, someone funded and brought the campaign to 100%. So first, thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. It is such a relief to have that kind of funding support. My business is me, myself, and I. It is largely entirely self-funded, other than this crowdfunding campaign and some small grants I've received along the way. So first and foremost, thank you so very much. With the conclusion of the crowdfunding campaign, I feel like I can breathe a little bit of a sigh of relief. It takes a lot to run a crowdfunding campaign, to maintain interest, to be authentic, and I felt like I was on all the time. And when you are your small business, you are on all the time. Your face, you need to be out there shaking hands and kissing babies, if you will. So 2 weeks ago, right before Easter, I was also at a spring/Easter holiday market called Makers and Shakers here in New York. So I spent that whole weekend selling, talking to people locally, trying to make connections, and that, I usually only film content on the weekends. So I lost that weekend, and last week was Easter. Without going too far into it, this was the first holiday my mom proactively wanted to host since my dad died last January. And it felt really important for me to be there. So Dan and I drove 6 hours to my big sister's house where we stayed, and she lives an hour from my mom. So it was really nice to see family, regardless of how long that drive was, and 23 people ended up at Easter this year. My mom is one of 6. I've always been from a big family. But it was so nice to be enveloped in that love, especially after the last couple of weeks that Dan and I have been going through. But a lot of these people Dan and I hadn't seen in almost 4 years. So even prior to the pandemic, when we moved to Chicago, we're far away. We made a choice to move. Everyone's on the East Coast. We moved to the Midwest, essentially, to go to Chicago. So people hadn't even seen us because our wedding and COVID moving the wedding out a year when Dad was going through chemo, then COVID putting a damper on it, having a smaller wedding, having Dad pass away, us moving. It'd been a long time, and it was really an emotional moment. More good than bad. Trust me, guys. It was lots of hugs, lots of laughter. It was so much fun to laugh and be with these people again. But it was also hard. There's a lot of faces people make when it's the first time they've seen you since a big loss. And wow, I am really emotional. I think that's why it's been so hard to film. But having my uncle see me in 4 years and give me a hug and say how much he missed my dad and how proud my dad would be of me. That stuff means a lot, but it's always kind of hard. It's bittersweet to hear. It always will be. So, that's been the last couple of weeks. Really, really highs. Ooh, sorry. Okay. So there's been some really high highs and some sad kind of lows. Dad's birthday was in April 13th. So like, you know, it comes and goes. And I don't want to force myself to do things, especially in my grieving process. I've just kind of learned if I need space, I need space. And I also had this weird immense guilt for not filming. The algorithm yells at you. I hate the YouTube back end app that's like, you've lost more subscribers this month than you've gained subscribers this month. Your view rates are down. Your duration of view times are down. My videos right now are only averaging 60 to 70 views. About a year ago, I was getting around 100 views or more. So even though my subscriber count goes up, my views are going lower. I don't know who the algorithm is showing my videos to, what if my keywords are wrong, and it can really mess with your head. I'll just put it out there. It can mess with your head. Instagram is now only really promoting video content, especially reels, and I'm just not great at making reels. I'm great at talking to the camera and making 10-minute long videos. I'm not great at making 3-minute videos, so I'm feeling that kind of stress too. And then TikTok, now TikTok has 10-minute long videos, which TikTok's really coming after Twitch. I don't know if TikTok's coming after YouTube. And I opened up TikTok because I had to for work, and I hate TikTok. The algorithm cannot figure out what I like, other than puppies. I'm totally fine that it shows me puppies, ducklings, and is it cake? Kind of fun. But when I'm looking in book talk, there's really not a lot of nonfiction book talk to be seen, or I'm not seeing it. So that's been the last couple of weeks. On top of it, I went into a huge reading slump. I average 7 books a month. It's April, God, what is it? April 24th? Let me check. It's April 23rd and I've read 4 books. Again, that's reading anything is fine, but for the first 2 solid weeks, I don't think I finished my first book until April 15th. It was just kind of everything needed to shut down in my head, and I needed to just focus on getting through each day. And it's a weird sense of guilt when you're a small business owner, you are your brand, and it's really hard to put up a sign and be sorry, this brand is closed because the founder really needs to take a nap and take 10. But I did. Did the world end? No. Do I feel like I'm consistently behind now? Yes, I ran out of pre-banked content. Here we are today, filming things. So, all in all, I'm not apologizing for not being here, but giving context for why I wasn't. This YouTube channel is meant to be a hobby. It's meant to be something that makes me happy, and books make me happy, and when they're not making me happy, I go into reading slumps. So we took a beat and we're back. Again, I always try to count my blessings, though. A lot of really great things are happening. We hit 100% on my crowdfunding goal. I had a really good local makers and shakers selling event. I got to see family. I feel better. Do I feel 100% better? No, but I think it was the right thing to do. And I'm working on revamping my website right now. I have a small business coach I've been working with, and we're about 8 weeks into our partnership. And I've had a couple really great breakthroughs that I want to incorporate. And I'm back to reading, which is the thing I care about the most. Is I just want to read and enjoy it. I never want to lose that spark. When I wasn't reading these past 2 weeks, I have to give a shout out to this very sweet anime called Sweetness and Lightning. It's about a male teacher, and he is now a single father after his wife has suddenly died, and he does not know how to cook. He does not know how to he wants to connect with his daughter, who is a preschooler, kindergartner, very young, but he doesn't know how to cook, and he forges this unique relationship with a high school student of his. There is no romance, to be very clear. There is no romance between this high schooler and this teacher. The high schooler, her mother is a famous chef. She's on air and traveling all the time, and a lot of the time, Kotonomi is left alone, and she too does not really know how to cook, despite being the daughter of a famous chef. She also has a fear of knives after injuring herself as a young child. So this teacher and this student learn to cook together at her mother's restaurant. They live upstairs, the mom's restaurant is downstairs. So they're learning to cook together. It's about relationships, like how his best friend looks like a gangster, but really has stepped in to be a real. They've been friends for a very long time, but having friends that support you while you're going through grief and loss, and even Koronomi learning to talk to her own friends about how she misses her mom. It is one of the sweetest food-related animes ever. It is also a light novel, so I picture over here, hopefully in this section, it is a super sweet story, and it is really what I needed. It's also, because it's slice of life light novel, there could be more volumes. I'm pretty sure it is done. The anime was 12 episodes, and it was just sweet. It was what I needed. I also binged watched the entire season of Is It Cake? I have to every time I have to articulate it that way. I have to give that intonation, Is It Cake? Question mark. That was also a really lighthearted Netflix TV series. It was kind of fun. It's not the greatest format. I have critiques about the show in general. But Is It Cake involves pastry chefs creating illusion-based cakes. It came from the TikTok trend. Netflix picked it up, made it its own show, and Mikey Day, who's well known for his work on SNL, is the host. It is a pretty funny show. It's just very fluffy. There are some beats that I don't think work very well in this format, and I don't know if it's me being a foodie snob or just having that background in food and television, but at the beginning, contestants have 20 seconds to look at, let's say 6 columns and identify which food is the fake, and if they're right, they get to bake in the competition that round. 3 people are eligible. They bake. Then they have 3 judges come in, and the judges have 20 seconds to look at each cake. So contestants' one cake is, let's say, a taco. It's put in a field of real tacos, and the comedian, or the 3 guests, which is usually a comedian, someone from an affiliate Netflix show, and then one other person, usually a foodie person, they have 20 seconds to mutually decide on which cake is the fake. And if you are one of the winners, you have the chance for $5,000. If you win that round between you and the 2 other contestants, you go on to the bonus round. The bonus round, there are 2 bags of money presented in front of you. One is cake and one is not, and you have a 50-50 chance to win an additional $5,000 in that episode. The 20 seconds doesn't feel long enough. The lighting looks really dark when you're watching it from home. I'm like, how would I have in 20 seconds to look at 8 items and also come to a mutual agreement with the 2 other judges? I think it's used to build frantic energy, but it just feels really forced and weird. I think they'll hit their stride in season 2. I want more of the cake and the design work. Also, they tell you I'm gonna make a buttercream cake because a vanilla cake with buttercream, because taste is always important. But taste really doesn't have any factor in the judging criteria. So I don't get why I should even care what's inside the cake. Obviously, I think they're doing it to show you that these cakes don't taste like crap, and they're not just giant mounds of fondant and icing. But I don't understand, there's no risk or importance of what that cake recipe is gonna be. So it just feels a little imbalanced right now. Do I think it could come back for a second season? Maybe. I'm not sure if the TikTok trend is going to continue. It's very a cultural moment right now. So I'm not sure if it has the legs, or if they're going to do it, they need to change the format. Mikey Day is also a kind of, I think, polarizing host. You either love him or you don't. And at the beginning, I didn't like him. And then by the end of it, I decided he was a psychopath and was kind of funny, but he's a psychopath. So there you go. I think there's other better shows for food on Netflix that you could watch, even in a cooking competition, like the School of Chocolate show. I think it's called School of Chocolate. Way better show. Much more about the craft, the skill. This one feels a little PG and fluffy, which I get it. They're making cake to look like other things, so it's not really that serious, but regardless, that's what I was watching instead of what I was reading. I will do my monthly wrap-up. It'll probably be short. It'll probably be 5 books. And that's really what's been going on with my business and what I've been up to date. So thanks for hanging in there with me. I do think going forward, until I really feel like I've hit my mojo back again, I am going to go down to 1 video a week right now. I've been on Booktube. May is going to make 2 years I've been on Booktube. And I've consistently, almost let's say 90% of the time, put out 2 videos a week. I'm gonna drop down to 1 video a week. I'd rather feel good about what I'm filming than feel ultra pressured. That might also help me build up a bank of content for when I do have another slump like this. So that's it. I don't even, like, if you made it this far, leave me a heart emoji, say hi, because you know comments are going to help the algorithm. Gosh, I feel like I sell my soul every time in these closings, but you know, whatever, it's fine. I'm going to take it video by video, day by day. I really appreciate you guys hanging in there with me, and I will be back to let you know what bookish content I'm reading, maybe what even I'm watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.